G'day, you're with Sean the Australian Restorer, and do I have an absolute pleasure of a machine to introduce you to. What you're looking at now is rocking horse shit, also known as hen's teeth. If you can think of another adjective for something that is pretty hard to come by, this is what this is. This is a VICTA Professional 505, and this engine itself, they're kind of a dime a dozen, but in this particular configuration, you just don't see them. I've had my ear to the ground looking for one of these for about 18 months, and one's finally reared its head in my area. However, got no bloody wheels. Look at that, back wheels. There's the self-drive mechanism. I haven't fired it up yet, but the bloke assures me that it was running, so I'll cross those bridges if I have to. I have a lot of spare parts and etc. here. He also assures me that the self-propelled mechanism is working, which means there's very specific sort of wheels that need to go on this. There's kind of the inside of the wheels that I'm going to need to source have like a gear inside it that link up with that. Anyway, first things first, let's see this bad boy starts. Still got fuel. I'm just going to assume that that is the correct fuel. Yes! So, engine runs. What I was pointing at here, that's a self-propelled mechanism. So the bones of it are here, ladies and gents. These are commercial beasts, this thing will just go forever and ever and ever. I don't know if anyone here have seen my videos over at Blade Mate Lawn Care. I love the VICTA 2-strokes, and they go through absolutely anything. I've taken down weeds and grass my height with them, with this little tiny engine. So I've just gone to the wall for this one and pulled this bad boy out. I've never actually tried to fire this one up. This is it's kind of like a cousin of that mower I just showed you. This one's a 550. They have the same drive, so the gearbox here and under there. And I haven't actually ever looked before, but I reckon if I take these wheels off, I'm gonna find that one that fits on that gear that you saw, and so I reckon I'm onto a winner. Also noted over here, just a bit bent in there. So these wheels, they appear to be the same size as the 550 over there, so no doubt I'll be cannibalising a few parts off that one. And this starter's a bit flogged as well, so I'll take a look at that. The donut. These are making that look harder than it needs to be. Oh yes! Look at that. That's just the same as the drivetrain on the other one. Wonderful. So here's the other side. Everything's there. Both bearings. Now here's a little bit of interesting trivia that I just noticed as a result of this project. So this one I got my hands on. Those, like I said, who follow my Blade Mate channel, I would have seen this one doing some damage in the past in various lawns. Now, have a look at the tyres. This looks like an old bike tyre that's just been screwed on. Now I was always curious about that, but now I know, because these tyres with that gear train in them are just difficult to come by. So, the previous owner of this obviously realised it's going to be difficult to source these, because I found out there, buy these tyres from VICTA, they're like 90 bucks each. So yeah, they've just improvised, cut up an old bike tyre and screwed them in, job done. You know what, since I'm here, and because they seem to be in okay condition, I might as well clean them, put a little bit of grease back on the inside. And I'm probably not going to put this one in the bath, I'll just spray it just to get in the deep nooks and crannies. They just put a bit of lithium in there. You know, I'm sure there's people who'll argue that it's not a good idea or whatever, but it's a bloody 50-cent bearing. I really don't care that much. Now these are large bearings. I would have packed these much more firmly. So usually what you want to do is kind of push the grease through one side until you see it coming out of the other. Look, I'm not being that thorough for these. As long as they're a bit lubricated, I'm not losing sleep. Let's have a look at this Dicky starter. So I don't know if you noticed before when I was firing it up, sometimes it was kind of hanging out like this far when I was done. So, and yeah, well, you can see right there, it didn't go back in, so that'll bother me. Let's get this off and have a look. It does actually have two components. You don't have to fluff around as much. You take the black piece off it. So to get this off, it's really just a matter of undoing that. I'm probably just going to snip it because I can't be bothered. One of the perks, I've been married to a former army medic. We've got lots of trauma shears everywhere. They're really good for snipping fabric and stuff. Till I do that. They're also throwaway items and really cheap. I'll be able to pin that back on later probably. From what I can see of this cord, it's in good condition. I'm not going to replace it. Alright, so I want to pull that out. We want to wind this up about 5 turns. And you want that bit there lined up. Feed the string back in. Knot in it. Settle down, wind. And it should just be able to release it, and that'll reassert itself. There we go. Seems to be going back to where it was, so happy with that. Give this a quick clean. I was in a little bit of a hurry, so I didn't get a before and after shot, unfortunately. But it looked more like this one, so it's just another old one that I had lying around. And yeah, now it's much better. In case you're wondering, it just blows the smoke out the bottom. I found with the old 2-strokes, with this engine, you know, they haven't been running for a while, and they blow a bit of smoke on startup, you just see this big mist coming out from underneath the mower. I think it looks pretty cool. There we go. Exhaust back on. So I've gone ahead and taken the front axle off, just noting that I had that bent wheel at the front, and what it actually is, if you have a look here, you can kind of see how that's misshapen. If you look up and down, that shouldn't be bent at all. So next problem, can't fix this bend here, which kind of is what keeps that wheel on, you know, slightly different axis, with this axle here in the way. Now that's not really designed to come out. It doesn't come out there, so the only way I can really remove it is to grind that off, and only then can I really panel beat that back into shape, nice and flat, because that's just in the way. And then I may have to weld it or paint it back over, we'll see. I've torn my workshop apart looking for my nozzle for my gas bottle, because I would much prefer to put a little bit of heat in this to try and bend it. It makes it a bit easier, but this is kind of the best I can do. So what I'm doing, holding it in the vise, and basically just got to make this part go this way a little bit. Slowly getting there. Well, it's not perfect, but it's much. Let's go have a quick spray with paint as well, just get the rust off there, but you know, it's on there nice and solid again, so happy with that. Now, even though it's old and flogged, I still like this detail here. Check this out. So it's got the Pro Series written on there, a little VICTA insignia. I just find that a bit cool. Yeah, since I got it on the bench, might as well service it while we're here. Ugh, look at that. Fortunately, I happen to have one lying around that will do just fine. and I've identified that there are in fact no blades. One of the perks of being me and having accumulated so much crap is this old girl, the same body. That's a 20-inch, I think this one's a Mustang, VICTA Mustang. It's, anyway, so I'm just going to one for one the, I've already pulled off, but I'm just taking the cutting disc off that, complete with blades. Got 4 blades on it ready to go, and they're all mulching blades, which is good. If you look closely, these blades, although rusty, surface rust, they look like they haven't been used. There's next to no bloody dents or anything on them. I think these have just been replaced and then more or less left outside, hence the surface rust, which means they are ideal to go on this bad boy. Now, as you can see, side by side, cutting discs identical, except for this little bit there. I don't think that'll be an issue. Yeah, this should pop straight on, complete with these, like I said, despite the surface rust, brand new mulching blades. Seen better days. Luckily, I just haven't had one spare. For that, I also happen to have one of these, which I'm pretty sure it'll be a perfect fit. It didn't come with one. And if I want this to be one of my go-to daily work machines, definitely going to need a catcher for it. Now this has a slightly different mechanism to fit the catcher. So you pull this little lever here. When the flap comes up, hooks up to a little lever under here, and it holds it there pretty firmly. Don't worry, I'll give all this a proper clean before I use it. Like I bought one. So it goes without saying that I'm pretty thrilled to have one of these. Like, as I said earlier, they're pretty hard to come by these days, and it will make a fine addition, and it will see work as of tomorrow. Alrighty, ladies and gents, I shall see you next time. Have a good one.